Hello everybody, back in the shop this morning. Yesterday we were working on that CJ3B cowl support while this paint was drying on the snowblower parts. And the sun is kind of tough this morning shining in here, but I think you could see the rear brackets. And I'll try and get you in there and show you a little better without that sun beaming in so bad. There's our intermediate piece. That's just under the transmission transfer case. That's just a heavy piece of angle iron that ties the two sides together. And there's the front axle, the spring hangers. That holds the whole frame up right on this spring hanger here. We've got our swinging frame. I just got a piece of pipe through there right now to act as a pin. These little caps here are going to be grease fittings. There'll be one there, there'll be one on the swinging frame, and same on that side. There's the other side spring hanger. And this is the part that actually connects to the snowblower rig. This goes up and down. We've got a bungee cord there. Hydraulic cylinder goes from that point to that point up there, and that's what activates that. It's just going to slide up and down like that. And then we have our top crossbar on there. So I think you can get the idea now of how this whole subframe goes together and holds the snowblower. I hope the lighting is alright and you can see this okay. But I've got to get a couple pins in there, finish up the grease fittings, do a little touch-up painting, kind of hit the lift a little bit when I was putting it in. But a little bit of touch-up on some of the yellow parts. And we'll be finished with the snowblower frame, and I'll move on to the actual snowblower unit, which needs quite a bit of restoration. It's pretty rusty. So that's where I'm at right now on this, and I'll be back in just a little bit and show you what's going to happen next on the actual snowblower unit. Okay guys, aside from getting a Wisconsin engine to power this snowblower unit, this is the last major hurdle I have. And you can see down in this area, this is just rust. It's coming off the actual round part of the snowblower. So this whole thing is going to go back and get sandblasted. I'm going to remove the gearbox here. And this is one of the downfalls of this unit. This is where your drive shaft connects. And that runs right up by the driver's head and connects to the engine. So you have to get in the passenger side every time. So I'm going to take the gearbox off, get the chain out of there and stuff, and then sandblast this up. And you can see their chute wasn't anything special. They just rolled up some steel and then cut pies out of it to bend it. You know, they cut and welded. Pretty crude, but it was effective. And you can see some of the original yellow paint still on this unit right here and here. The auger is all going to have to come apart and get sandblasted. That's in real tough shape. The chain and the gears and everything look pretty good in here. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, it's kind of dark in there, but that all looks pretty good, and hopefully the gearbox will be alright. But this is the last major hurdle. I've got a few leads on some engines, but nothing as actually happened yet. So I'm still looking for a Wisconsin VG4D, if anybody knows of one. And that will complete the snowblower unit. There's a lot to this Jeep. The snowblower adds a lot to it. The half cab, a lot of custom fabrication in this one. But I'm thinking and hoping it's going to be worth it in the end. So this is going to head out to the sandblasting area. I've got more pressing projects, so I'll get to this when I can. But I'm going to move it back there and sandblast this as time allows. And get this in primer and start cutting out the bad metal and putting in some fresh stuff. So, like I say, this is another major overhaul on this snowblower Jeep, but something that needs to be done, and no better time to do it than when it's summertime and it's not really needed. So, that's what's happening on a snowblower Jeep. I started taking apart the welder Jeep a little bit further. I'll take you over there and show you that now. While the weather's nice, I'm going to sandblast the parts that are good on that and put them in storage. The fenders are pretty nice. Windshield frame turned out that was pretty nice. So I'm going to sandblast all that stuff up, and I'll show you where I'm at on that project next. Okay guys, this is where I'm at on that CJ3B Welder Jeep. I've got the fenders off because they were in remarkable shape. So I'm going to clean those up now. Windshield was in very nice shape. And the rest of the body is pretty tough. You've seen a lot of my videos if you watch some of the early ones when I was fabricating the rear half of this body. There's the welder. And you saw yesterday when I pulled that cowl support out. The body's just kind of flapping around here. But this Jeep is going to get, that's the original F-head engine in here. I've got that CJ6 tow truck which has the F-head in it, and I'm building this CJ5 snowblower Jeep with the F-head in it. But this came in and it was running and way underpowered. That welder is super heavy. You can see it's still got its original governor here. All the linkage is all hooked up to the carburetor. Everything is just some wire there, but everything is in place. And the welder did work. There's the governor handle there. So I've been toying around with keeping the 4-cylinder, but I think I actually want to get out and do some welding with this one, and it will be a real slow poke on the road. So I have a V6 for it. A Chevy Vortec V6, and I'm thinking of putting that in here. I already have a SM465 transmission for this, and I'm just waiting to see if I can get Miller or Lincoln to help me out with a welder for this. So far, neither one of them are interested in talking with me. They don't want to sell an engine drive welder without the engine. And at this point, you know, I'll go either Miller Blue or Lincoln Red, but I just can't get one of those guys on board. So this welder welds, but it's going to need a complete going through. It's everything's frozen up in there, and I may go through this one if those guys won't work with me, which it seems like they're not gonna. But I would like a more modern welder in here with a generator capabilities and multi-process, where I could take a suitcase welder out there, or you know, whatever, run a TIG machine off it. But this is a GE 300 amp, and what I'll get with this one is just, you know, strictly arc welding. But I may put this together. If I leave this particular welder in here, I may keep the F-head 4-cylinder. If I get lucky enough to get Miller or Lincoln to work with me on putting a PTO welder in here, well, then I'm going to go with the V6 and an upgraded drivetrain, some more modern steering, and some better axles, more modern axles, and make a, I guess what you'd call it would be a resto mod. You know, it would have a modern drivetrain but have the old look. You'd actually be able to take it out on the road and do road speed and take it on the highway and things like that. So anybody has any thoughts on that? You know, I mean, for most of my life I've always done things dead original, and I've always paid the price, you know, being in the slow lane. I'm thinking I want to go a little bit faster with this one, put some modern gearing in there, but I'm open to comments on that. Let me know what you think. And anybody works for Miller or Lincoln, you know, put the bug in the rear. You know, I'm willing to buy a welder, but I don't want to buy the engine with it. And they just don't even think that's possible, and they won't work with me. So at the very beginning stages of this project, as I wrap up the snowblower Jeep. So open to comments. Let me know what you think. Keep it original. Would you like to see modern steering, modern axles, modern engine put in this vehicle? Or would you like to see a stock vehicle with the original GE welder? Everything in the back here, yeah, it's kind of hard to see, but they put some overload springs in there and they're completely shot. There's the overload spring they put in there. A lot of the leaf springs are cracked already. That poor little thing of 44 is just squealing under all the weight. So I'm not sure what to do here. So it's open for debate. Shoot me a comment, good or bad. You know, you don't like the project or you do like it, you know, just shoot me a comment. Doesn't matter what you say, just I'm open to suggestions and just curious what people want to see. If you'd like to see a modern drivetrain go under one of these guys, I'd be happy to do that. You've seen me do a lot of stock rebuilds, but let me know what you think. And that's about all I have for today. So as always, you know, I appreciate everybody watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.